The story of 50/50 is one of the most startling chapters in modern K-pop, defined not by rumor but by a series of documented public events. A record-shattering global hit followed immediately by a devastating legal war between a breakout group and their company. In late 2022, the small agency ATTRAKT introduced its rookie group 50/50 to little fanfare. But by early 2023, their song Cupid had become a global TikTok phenomenon, breaking onto the Billboard Hot 100 at a speed rarely seen for a K-pop act, especially one from an independent label. They were celebrated as the ultimate underdog success story. And then, at the absolute peak of their fame, the foundation shattered. In June 2023, all four members filed injunctions to suspend their contracts with ATTRAKT. This wasn't a quiet dispute. It was a public legal action taken at the moment of greatest possible leverage. The reason stated in their legal filing was clear and serious. They alleged ATTRAKT had failed to provide transparent settlement documents for their earnings and had breached its duty of care regarding their health. For observers, the timing was the first major shock. Why would a group voluntarily seek to halt all activities during a historic, career-defining breakthrough? The immediate assumption for many international fans was one of potential exploitation by a small agency. ATTRAKT's CEO Jeon Hong-joon responded with a press conference that radically complicated the narrative. He presented a different claim, shifting focus from internal neglect to external interference. Jeon alleged that the producer and external collaborator Ahn Sung-il and his company The Givers, who had been integral to creating Cupid, were attempting to poach the group. He accused The Givers of obstructing access to the group's official assets and noted their dual contractual relationship with another large entertainment company. While no privately leaked messages were presented as public evidence, these allegations, reported by major news outlets, reframed the conflict. It was no longer just an artist-company dispute. It was now also presented as a fight over control and ownership. The public and media reactions split dramatically. International fan communities largely sympathized with the members, while significant portions of Korean media and online discourse began scrutinizing the group's actions, with some commentary framing the lawsuit as an act of disloyalty to the company that had launched them. This cultural divide in perception became a key facet of the unfolding scandal. Clarity began to emerge from the legal system. In August 2023, the Seoul Central District Court dismissed the members' request for an injunction. This was a major factual turning point. The court stated the evidence was insufficient to conclude ATTRAKT had committed breaches serious enough to justify suspending the contract, particularly regarding the health and settlement issues raised. This ruling was a significant legal victory for ATTRAKT. Following this, in a move that permanently divided the original unit, member Keena withdrew her lawsuit and returned to ATTRAKT in October 2023. She issued a public apology to CEO Jeon, stating she wanted to continue activities. Her return, confirmed by official statements, suggested a pivotal reassessment of the legal and practical reality facing the group. ATTRAKT then moved decisively based on its legal position. Later in October 2023, the agency announced the termination of the exclusive contracts of the three remaining members, SIAHN, ATTRAKT, and CEO, citing a complete breakdown of trust. The company followed with a substantial civil lawsuit seeking billions of won in damages from the three former members, their parents, and Ahn Sung-il of The Givers for alleged losses from derailed activities. The former members' legal representative countered, calling the lawsuit baseless. These are the documented steps: a dismissed injunction, terminated contracts, and a filed civil suit. The emotional narratives flourished online, but the concrete events were unfolding in court documents and official announcements. The confirmed fallout was severe and tangible. All group promotions ceased at their viral peak. Planned schedules like KCON LA were canceled, and reports of potential international soundtrack involvement disappeared as activities halted. The original four-member configuration of 50/50 was effectively dissolved. From an industry perspective, the case became a stark study in risk. It demonstrated how a sudden, massive hit could destabilize the traditional idol-agency dynamic, creating immediate leverage and complicating external partnerships. For small agencies, the story transformed from a dream blueprint into a sobering case study about contract security and management infrastructure. The aftermath saw two parallel paths emerge, both based on official announcements. ATTRAKT, with Keena as the sole original member, embarked on a transparent, publicly announced rebuilding process, eventually debuting a new 50/50 lineup in 2024. Concurrently, the three former members signed with a new agency, Massive ENC, and later debuted as the trio Abloom in 2025. This created the unique, documented circumstance of two active groups originating from the same core unit, a constant reminder of the split. The core civil lawsuit remains ongoing, a lingering legal proceeding attached to the public drama. The 50/50 story, when focusing on verified events, is a case study in the collision between viral exponential success and the rigid high-stakes frameworks of the K-pop industry. It's a documented sequence of a meteoric rise, a public legal fracture, a decisive court ruling, and a corporate rebuild. Their legacy is dual: a song that proved a melody could organically conquer global charts, and a legal battle that proved how fragile that conquest can be when business, law, and perception violently intersect.